of the Blues, live streaming to you on all the social media platforms, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook. Ricochet bringing you the coverage, joined by the redoubtable former Wales centre, former British Lion, current legend, Tom Shanklin. How are you, Tom?
I'm fine, thank you, Rick. How are you?
You're looking very well.
Thanks. And
I know you can't say the same. I know you'd like to, because of the politeness of society.
You're looking comfy.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks.
No, you're welcome. You're welcome.
I've got some sort of like lockdown oral fixation that's keeping me going.
Fluid retention.
Loitering at the back is Darren. Darren, come to the fore. Darren Talbot, the sponsor of the main sponsor of this wonderful service that we're bringing Blues fans. Darren Talbot, Chief Exec of Aspen, Waite, Wales.
Director of Aspen, Waite, Wales, yeah.
Brilliant. We'll have a chat in a minute. I'll just describe the action to the folk. Benetton Treviso, tonight's opponent. Miserable night. I think we can get that out the way.
It was just important that we introduced Darren, so you didn't think he was some sort of weirdo lurking around in the background, all right?
Just hanging around.
He looks like one. Looks like he's still washing off the line. That sort of man, but no, he's safe.
Aaron, what prompted you to bring this service to the fans of the Blues? Was it your idea, or was it someone came and said, right, we need a sponsor, to fancy it?
I think it's done really to do the sponsor to fancy it, but obviously got a bit of a passion for Blues.
Yeah.
So Aspen Waite been working with them for.
You need to have a passion.
Yeah, you need to have a passion. Yeah, so
blind loyalty and devotion.
Deep pockets.
Deep pockets. Yeah. For my sins, I spent 3 years in the finance department. So
here,
in the Blues. Yeah. So.
You must be good.
You must
be good.
Yeah, I did 3 years. Yeah, so.
We're just saying, like, how healthy he's looking. It's probably because he's left his role within the Blues. He's passed it on to someone else.
What role? The ham and cheese role?
Yeah, yeah.
Steak roll.
Keeping them afloat role.
I'm not best placed to make fat jokes. Right, Dan. We have tons of pickings here. There's coffee. There's drinks. Make yourself at home.
Yeah. Cheers.
We'll get you when things are a bit more settled. We'll get you involved. And just drift in and out, because it's a casual chat. We try and bring up. Well, when I used to do the Red Button commentary on BBC, that my brief was to bring the atmosphere of the terraces to people's living room.
Yeah.
The atmosphere of the terraces here at the moment, it wouldn't be hard to convey that. Just turn your TV off and listen to the sound of silence, because there is no one on the terraces. Didn't stop the pre-match tannoy announcer trying to whip up the crowd.
Yeah.
By saying, there's a really big, exciting game tonight. Please welcome. Well, the only people to hear are the officials from both teams.
They play music and breaks and tries, and I've done a lot of commentary, and it's hard. It's hard to commentate, with no audience. It's hard for the players, I suppose, to get up for it as well in some aspects. Although the French didn't struggle.
Nope. So first mistake of the evening, I think it's he's not newly blonde, he's been blonde for a fortnight now, so Josh Turnbull just nudged one forward. So we're going to get the first opportunity of the night to marvel at the wonder of the Italian set piece, as Treviso will have a scrum. It'll be on the 10-metre line inside the Cardiff half. It looks like the game is taking place in one of those car washes, doesn't it? There's just a fine mist permanently hovering around the ground and blowing around the ground, swirling around the ground. Yeah,
conditions aren't great, and I think you're going to see a lot of knock-ons, a lot of loose passes. So far, we've seen a lot of kicking. No team really wanting to try too much. It'll be low-risk rugby, I think, tonight, and you just want to try and force. The Blues will be trying to force Benetton into making mistakes, really, and try and capitalise off that.
I mean, if they want, if they fancy a scrum, they've come to the right place. The game against Ulster 2 weeks ago, I've never seen so many scrums. I don't think in a whole season in one game. It was scrum-tastic. That first scrum did not go the way the Blues would have hoped. They tried to get a bit of a wheel on. They did wheel it round. The referee judged it to be illegal. So the first penalty kick at goal of the match will go to, or the opportunity will go to the outside half, Ian Keatley. Right, let's try and work out what's going on here wind-wise, because it does look a bit swirly, doesn't it?
I think it's probably favouring a little bit Benetton this half, and I think in terms of conditions, I think it's going to play into the hands more so of Benetton tonight. I think it's great that Jad Evans is back for the Blues.
Yeah.
He has been missed while he's been called up to international duty, but they'll want to play, they'll want to attack. We've seen it in them for the last the opening 5 games. They've been really good off set piece, but I think these conditions will Benetton will like. They want to slow the game down. They want to scrum. They want to ruck. They want to maul.
They will enjoy that. Keep it 1, 2, 3 strikes. It looks good to me. I think that's going to start the scoreboard. No, it's not. It's just. Let's just go. That looked all right to me. Shanks, I need to get my glasses. I'll use my mask to give them a clear.
Yeah, that's what they're for, mate, isn't it?
Are we ever so slightly ahead of the TV commentary then, are we? And the TV coverage, or is there just a delay on?
I think it's just the app. I think the app is a little bit
of a delay on it.
Yeah.
So Keatley missed it. There will be a 22, and it's taken by Jared Evans, and he's pumped it to just about the 10-metre line of Treviso. It's been gathered by the fullback, Jaden Hayward, who's run it back into the Blues half. Benetton in a sort of darker green than they're used to. It's not the emerald they usually have. It's a darker, more sort of the Irish kit green than the lighter blue that they used to wear. Lighter green that they used to wear. They're playing from the Newport end, the Newport clubhouse end, down towards the changing room end. And as again, we just see you called it right, Shanks. A lot of kicking in doors.
Yeah.
And a very good wiper kick there by.
I suppose there's one thing the Blues probably need a little bit more. It is just a little bit more territory. They struggled with that the last sort of 3 games, ever since Connaught, really. I mean, it has been a bit of a tough run, but they haven't had the possession or the territory really in games to really trouble opposition. So I think we'll probably see a little bit more kicking than we're used to from Jared, but that's good for him. You know, we know how good he is, ball in hand, attacking wise. I think he's probably the best 10 in terms of playing on the front foot, making breaks, but it's the control element, I think, is just something that the experience that needs to come, and it will come. Yeah.
Who is all things? I mean, can you remember the last outside half that was everything?
Yeah, I know, and you know,
and I don't think the best outside half in my, Carter was pretty good actually. I suppose there wasn't much he couldn't do.
People have a go at 10s for not tackling, but no one mentions Phil Bennett or Barry John's defensive displays today.
I don't know. There were only about half a dozen people that made tackles in those days.
I've seen Jiffy putting one of the Kiwi players over the line and scrum 5 out.
Go on, have that.
Yeah. Shet him over. Oh, you deserve that.
Here's the coffee.
We want 3 Helen. We want 3
Nice Costa coffee for you.
Other brands are available.
They're not
here. Just not as good.
We're not on the BBC now. We can say, yay, Costa. Can't wait to get the Uber Eats pizza out at half time. And can you get Ryan to step away from the? He's creating. Oh yeah, of course. He's creating quite a shadow there.
Yeah. Thank you, Reece Blumber, for giving me the only seat with a big pillar in the way. I'm going to zip to halfway. The screen's like 10 seconds behind. One job, mate. Well, two jobs. This and parking for the Blues.
So whilst we were getting our coffee from the wiper kick, that the line out from the subsequent wiper kick has now been completely occluded by Martin Ryan, the bloke who can light up a room by stepping away from the window. And he's now gone. Well done, Martin. We can see the action, and nothing much happened to the line out. Treviso won it, drove on a little bit, and some accidental offside, one would imagine. They've given the scrum, and it will be a Blues put in. So important because they gave a penalty away at the last scrum, although that was attacking Treviso. This is defending their own put in. They're a bit shapeless on that, and it's collapsed. So we know Italian sides are always good at the set piece, and it looks as though this particular Benetton Treviso outfit are not going to be disappointing. That's a bit of boxing.
I'm just trying to. I don't know what's going on my fingers. I'm just trying to sort the.
We're trying to get the video stream here of the game.
There we go.
But we've now got boxing upside down boxing. How have you done that? How do you flip that over?
We'll be all right.
Yeah.
It's lucky we're not live, eh?
No, or anyone's watching.
Yeah.
That's the best thing. Is anyone watching? Got any messages?
Yeah.
Give me someone I'll give a shout out to.
Coming up on the screen now.
Coming up where? On my WhatsApp, is it?
No, on the screen, on Shanks' screen.
Oh, on Shanks' screen. Shanks, you're in charge of shout outs.
Okay.
Shanks is 73 people watching live. Do we know what format they're watching? Or is that that's just on Facebook, is it? Back in the action.
You're able to sort out this screen so it just comes the right way up.
Back to the action. There was a bit of to and fro from the scrum. They reset the scrum. The Blues won it, kicked it downfield, and it was returned with a little bit of it. Well, not with interest. Returned deeper into the Blues 22. Jared Evans was there to take it. He's marked it, and from the mark now we'll get a good idea about the wind from this. I think. Yeah, I think you're right, Shank.
Yeah.
The wind is definitely blowing in favour of the Benetton Treviso team. They've taken that quickly. Sort of halfway between the 22-metre line. I'm not sure they should have had the opportunity to take it that quickly. The Blues a bit lax there. Just not trotting down and giving them that time.
Yeah, it was a decent kick, but there's no real kick chase, was there? I mean, one of Benetton's strengths, we talked about the set piece, but their back three is good as well. Jaden Hayward, really good. Monty Ione, quite dangerous if you kick loosely to them. Oh,
That's a nice little kick through.
I tell you what, there was a real nice inside line. I think it was by Ollie Robinson there. Had Jared seen it?
He wasn't looking for it, was he?
No.
He was looking on the outside. He had Owen Lane storming up and he grabbed a kick through, but it's been nicely managed by Jaden Hayward. And as a consequence of that, Treviso have an extended long ruck. And it's given the opportunity for Callum Bradley, the scrum half, to box kick. Been gathered by Owen Lane. Bit of a difference. And the Blues have they have a ruck on their own 10-metre line, but they've been done for holding on. What do you reckon?
We're just having a look at the replay now.
So here comes to the box kick. There is kind of a delay on this. About 30 seconds. Anyway, we'll get back to the action because in real time, from the penalty, Treviso have their first real attacking opportunity of the game with a line out on the 5-metre line, taking advantage of the wind and the rain that is blowing right to left at the backs of Benetton. It couldn't be worse for us.
Yeah, the penalty that this has all come from, the ball just squirts out, and I think it's Owen Lane drops on it, and no one's really aware. So quite unfortunate, really. But that's what you're going to get. That it's going to be so slippery out there.
Well, you did say it's going to be a night of errors. And
Yeah,
the team that
it
makes
will
the
be.
fewest errors is likely to win it. Benetton have won that lineup, but the Blues have defended it very, very well, and they've turned it over. And are they going to have a look at going? Well, Jared Evans has chipped a kick pass across field from sort of against the head line-out ball, and you have to admire his ambition there. But like you said, a game management was that the time and the place, or should he just be getting the hell out of dodge?
I don't mind that. That's not that high risk.
Okay.
The space is there. The ball hits the ground. I think what would help is as if Hallam Amos was a little bit wider for that, but because they just turned it over, he wasn't able to get wide. But no, that's okay. I mean, you wouldn't have got much more distance with that anyway. If he sat back in the pocket and kicked out. So I mean, all turnover balls good. So you have a go. If it's not on, you get rid of it.
Ball off the top of the line out. It's delivered very quickly into the midfield for Brex Ignacio. They've got great names, some of these Italians. Ignacio Brex. Probably translates to Arthur Smith.
Yeah.
But it sounds good. Good defence from the Blues so far. They're trying to smash it through in the midfield. They've got nowhere, and that's forced Keatley to take it's like a defensive option.
Real
what a good
kick.
one.
Yeah,
what a great kick.
Yeah, it was nothing on, puts it right down, puts loads of pressure now on the Blues, who are 5 meters out with a line out. But forcing a team to kick is good. It means they've got no options. Yeah. Defensively, the Blues, I think, have been really good
this year.
all season. They've been good. They're not necessarily making massive dominant tackles, but they're causing teams, a lot of phases to score.
That's that error you're talking about. So that was they won the line-out ball, the Blues. They shortened it, they won it, and I think it was then passed. I'm gonna blame. I think it was Scott Andrews I can't be sure. It's
That's
so
to blame
far
him. It's
away.
easy.
Yeah.
You won't
Who's
know
it?
anyway.
Who is it? Who is it? Can you see who that is?
No, can't.
We'll see it again now in a minute.
Yeah, I've seen in 10 minutes when they're.
When the pictures catch up.
Yeah.
Anyway, the ball's been knocked on the 5 metre line. So the Blues, they've successfully defended a line out on their own line. Can they successfully defend this very appetising attacking option? I suppose the only difficulty is that it's a scrum on the right-hand channel.
We can hammer Scott Andrews. It was him.
Was it?
Real simple pass straight into his hands and just. And normally,
he dunked it.
Normally, Scott Andrews got a lovely pair of hands. Like he's actually very skillful for a prop, but that's just lack of concentration.
But like you said, those are the things. These are going to be the fine margins. Here come Treviso. They're up to the line. Is that a try or is that a penalty? I think it's a Blues penalty. They've gone for the line. I think it's a double motion, is it?
Yeah, well, they went for the scrum.
They went for the scrum and broke.
Yeah.
Went down the blind side. Big drive by Halifi. Pick up my pronunciation if it's incorrect. Tau Hafihi.
It's good, Rick. Yeah.
Not bad. There we go. 8 out of 10. Went to drive for the corner, and I think he just got a bit excited, didn't he?
Eddie Butler would be proud, mate, with that. Decent, yeah.
And from the penalty, Jared Evans has found a good touch into the wind, but it's still.
Yeah, this is sort of just outside between 22 and the 40 metre line. This is the area that I think they just need to tighten up a little bit on. I think they're either overplaying this area, trying to play too much, or it's just a poor exit from there. You know, it's either a poor box kick or a poor kick.
Well, the first part of the job has been done. They've run the line out. They've rolled it into midfield a bit, and they're all just a little bit lateral, but they're running it out. Matthew Morgan came into the line, got smashed for his troubles. I don't think that worked quite as smoothly as they were hoping to.
No.
So I'm not sure that they wanted the line out to move that far into midfield.
You end up taking all the back space.
It took all the speed, exactly. And it's kind of like then, do you think, well, should we cancel the move?
Yeah, that's where you need a little bit of experience to come in, a bit of the game management. I mean, they did have penalty advantage, so, you know, that's fair enough. They're trying to be a little bit positive. But as I said, this is the area they just need to work on. Between, I think, you know, the 2 40-metre lines in that area, just outside your 22, when you're going to kick, but being able to kick on your terms and being able to execute a decent kick. You know, they've been good in parts, especially against Connaught, which I think has been their best game so far.
Yeah. I mean, they're defensively, and then in the second half, they're attacking play.
The conditions were good as well.
It was a nice day. It was a
good conditions suit them because,
I
mean, we've had a glimpse so far this season of how threatening they are off set piece, off scrum. You know, with that back line, as I said, there's no better player, I don't think, at the moment of taking it flat and putting players into space or taking the hole himself than Jared.
There's another penalty advantage coming, right? Because they went back, as Tom said, they had a penalty advantage, so they had a free play. They took it up, and from that line out, they're now 10 metres in through some good work by Halaholo. He didn't play in the last home game here against Chelsea. He was one of our guests in the studio. Jared shows and goes, and he's half court.
It's so good, mate. It's such a good play. Yeah. You know, takes the right option all the time. It's not on. He tucks it. He goes himself.
There's a couple of penalties they can have. Good tap and go by Jamie Hill.
Well, he milked that, didn't he? He ran into a Benetton player running backwards, fell over, and referee told him to carry on.
Did very well.
Yeah, it's good though. You don't rarely see that many tap and goes now of penalties, do you? You know, teams tend to slow the ball down.
They do. It's good jackal, I think, that Benetton.
Here we go. Space out wide on the right.
Oh, inside pass.
If they can see it now.
Lovely hands on the inside pass from Domachowski, but Treviso had read it. There's another penalty coming again. So this is another free play. Turnbull spills it. It goes backwards. It's picked up by Owen Lane, another of the Blondies.
Yeah. Do you know why they got blonde hair?
There was a fine. They did explain it because Reece Williams was here last time, and he explained to me that there was some kind of misdemeanor.
I had 5 head here, did you?
Yes. He explained that they were guilty of some misdemeanor, and he felt that that Josh had taken it more seriously and invested in a better brand.
I mean, what would happen for us if that was the case?
Well,
Would you be forced to grow it?
It would force us to wear a wig or something.
That'd be horrific, wouldn't it? I don't know, like
I wore a Marilyn Monroe wig on my stag do. It was quite
a good competition, like out of us, who could grow the most hair.
you just end up looking like
Terry Nutkins, the former Terry Nutkins.
Yeah. I would. Yeah, that would be quite. Because you'd look crap. It would look.
Oh man, it would look horrific. It would look horrific.
But yeah, as punishments go, that would because people just looking.
That's what they did though in the 70s, wasn't it? You know, there's no such thing as a skinhead.
They had crap hair, yeah. But if you were a skinhead in the 70s, it was quite a statement.
Yeah.
So from the penalty, Jared Evans, you might well have heard the rattling of the tin.
And that's another thing.
Of the upright. They've been a bit unlucky.
Yeah, I mean, if he really wants to make it through to the top level, he has to be a high percentage kicker. You know, you can't always rely on your 15 to kick. Like, luckily, Wales have got Lee Halfpenny at the moment.
Let's not talk about Wales. Oh, the Blues were coming, and it's going to go back to a knock-on advantage for the Blues. It must be for the Blues.
Yeah.
Otherwise, going to play the advantage. Yeah, we might talk about Wales later on if I can bring myself to do it.
Okay, if we're really struggling for
definitely
content.
Talk about Argentina.
Yeah. I know, it was a phenomenal game, wasn't it?
I watched it. I didn't watch it live, but as soon as the Jungle Drums started picking out, someone said on WhatsApp, one of the WhatsApp groups, said, "Oh my God, have you seen this?"
Yeah.
And then they replayed the game on Sky.
What about Pablo Matera?
Oh, brilliant!
Like everything about him was phenomenal the weekend. Even like the explanation to the ref about
why he was getting involved. Yeah.
I play for my country.
I'm playing for my country. Yeah, I know.
He showed no respect.
He showed no respect. Yeah.
Internet sensation.
Well, absolutely. But that's. I think
you never would have thought that. You never would have called it. You think if you're a team like Argentina or Wales or anyone really, if you're going to beat New Zealand, you're either going to beat them in a World Cup or you're going to beat them on your home soil. You're not like.
Or like Wales just never beat them.
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah.
Under any circumstances.
Well, you say that. We came within 1 point. That's a win for us.
Did you play that one?
Of course it did.
Yeah, they're a better team than they, didn't we?
Yeah.
You and Gav. Is that the one Gav hit the post?
I'm not sure. It's the one when Wakakota stepped like inside me and just pulled away.
The winning try. Yeah.
Like Lewis Hamilton.
There was one before the Grand Slam, wasn't it? Was it the 2004
that was it.
autumn?
Yeah.
And
that was
so Reddick was coaching.
Yeah.
And I think, what was the final score? We were within
24-23.
Yeah, we were within, and I'm sure Gav hit the post with a penalty kick, like in the last, not in the last minute, but in the last 10 minutes, there was a penalty that hit the post.
We had a standing ovation when we walked into the walkabout bar after.
You get that
we're coming through the back. We're coming through the rear gate, the back entrance to walkabout bar, and the DJ was there. He was announcing that Wales were coming in, and John Thomas was at the front, so we pushed him in and he welcomed him and closed the door. So just so childish.
Another penalty kick. We'll bring you back up to speed. We're just nostalgically walking down memory lane. Jared Evans, 3 meters outside the 22. This time, he's got his radar on.
This is an area like as we
3-0.
said, he needs to work on. He had a couple of opportunities against Ulster as well.
He did.
So, he will get better with practice, but, you've got to be like high 80s, early 90s to be an international kicker these days.
They all are, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. They
certainly
are.
the good ones.
Yeah.
Like Sanchez. What was he like as well?
Yeah. Unbelievable, wasn't he?
Fantastic.
Some monsters as well that he nailed.
Man. I mean, the tight head prop, I can't remember his name. I'm looking at his legs, just thinking, dear God, good luck anyone playing against that. You're actually feeling sorry for all, not feeling sorry for, but just thinking, thank you. What I like about it is just everything is it speaks of how good it is to beat the New Zealanders. When you see Ledesma, that was bad. I think that was my favourite moment. Ledesma crying,
but also
just composed,
the crowd,
the hardest man in the
world.
world.
But you want to do that in front of people, and luckily there was people in the stadium.
Absolutely.
It is a bit soulless at the moment. It's great that we have got live sport and we're able to watch it, and people are able to watch it at home. But it must be so strange out there I mean, I'm sure they're getting used to it now because it has been a few months
Well,
of
it's
them
like
playing. But
it was like when I don't know if did I say this last time we were on with Reese. If I did, I apologise for repeating it. But I was talking to my friend Byron Lloyd. Do you know Byron?
yeah,
And obviously, Johan, his boy, now is going to get a cap
yes,
at some point.
hopefully, yeah.
And but there's going to be no one there watching. And Byron and I played
know.
for Welsh students together, and we played Welsh students rugby league. And we'd play in these games, and there'd be like 300 or 400 people rock up to watch us. And,
Yeah.
you know, play against France in Cannes on a Wednesday. Like there are 300 or 400 people.
Maybe it makes a massive difference.
Well, but we're playing for Welsh students rugby league. We played in front of more people than Johan will when he makes his full cap. But it no, I mean it. You know, you play in front of a crowd. It's amazing.
Well,
To have your cap and not have anyone there must be soul destroying. Right, back to the game. Treviso attacking from a scrum. They made a bit of a mess of it. An intricate play to be composed between number 8 and scrum half went to ground. Scrum half went backtracking. He's got it, but the Blues are on the front foot. Defending Treviso.
Yeah, this all came from the kickoff where the Blues failed to catch it. A pretty simple, long drop kick.
The Welsh disease.
Yeah. It's concentration levels. I mean, everyone can catch. You've just got to be so switched on after you scored. You know, that's when energy levels, excitement levels need to increase.
Ball is on the 10-metre line, and in the end, Bradley's had enough of it. The forwards have all had a go. Everyone's carried it at least 3 times, and I think he's kicked that dead. He's kicked it long, and Matt Morgan's dabbed it down. So it's going to be a 22 dropout. I can't see who's got the ball.
Any questions on that? Okay. Yeah. Give us some questions.
We've got some coming up, we?
Be interactive.
Stick it on the water. Yeah. Get involved with watching and get involved with the coverage.
Yeah, if you've got any health queries, Rick is here. Any medical inquiries you might have?
Nothing coming up yet.
No.
Nothing coming up yet, but let me know when they do, and I'll have a good look. I'm not doing any medical stuff tonight. It was very,
No,
very
all right.
Very, very busy at work today. Yeah, we're into winter now, isn't it? You know, people get poorly in winter. Even before.
Were you in GP today?
I was
Yeah.
up in Aberdare. A lot of rugby up there. A lot of patients like to have a chat with me. Funny enough, no one wants to talk about rugby much at the moment.
So it was good, Rick, the other day. I saw, obviously, everyone was reminiscing about Alan Wynne Jones, and we did an interview with him when he was running the touch. It was great.
It was a good one. I'd forgotten about that. That was one of my very first Scrum 5 items.
I just love the way he storms off then to run the
Well,
line.
I tell you what, that was at the same time as you were almost beating the All Blacks. That was the autumn of 2004.
Just loved how keen he was to run down the touchline and put the flag up. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Oh, there we go. Then got a bit of chip off his PE teaching. The other linesman was giving him a bit of chip. But that was a really good item. I remember doing that. Dave Purchase was the producer of it. And it was the first time he got me to do a piece to camera. But the history of that Brecon Llandovry match was just, and the traditions behind it all. Because I think Alan Wynne was there because he was last year's captain, wasn't he? So he has to come back and run the line.
I wasn't actually sure.
I think that's why. I think that's why he was there, because last year's captain comes back. Good Blues scrum. So ever since we've been reminiscing and talking about all manner of different things, from Alan Wynne Jones to Argentina, the score remains 3-0 to the Blues. I mean, I don't think we're going to see a tri-fest tonight, do we?
No, we're not. As long as we can beat 6-3 from Edinburgh Scarlets, then I'm happy.
6-3.
All right? Yeah.
Have you ever played in a 0-0?
No.
I did once. 1-0. What's the lowest you've played in?
I can't remember, to be honest, mate.
I played a 0-0 for Penzance Colts against Hale Colts, and it was just blowing a gale.
No, I couldn't tell you.
Pouring with rain, and you just couldn't kick the ball. I don't know why we played it. It was absurd.
I have been nilled once. I played in a game where I haven't scored any points. But
You personally haven't scored any. I can't remember.
No,
any games.
the team
Oh God.
a couple of times, but This is promising.
Yeah, the Blues got a real head of steam up here. They're driving a more, and they're down to about the 10-metre
this
line.
is
Now
good.
they've opened it out wide. Oh, that's a good tackle on Jared Evans by the centre, Ignacio Brex, just when it was looking very threatening. Again, though, the Blues knew they had a penalty coming because I think Treviso were trying to illegally stop that fantastic driving
Yeah, it
ball.
was
You
really
don't
good.
associate a fantastic driving ball with the Blues, so I'm pleased to see it.
Not massively, no, not really of recent times. Partly because they don't have the size. You know, you look at some of the other teams in this league; they've got monster back rows,
Yeah.
and this is why being physical, being confrontational doesn't suit the Blues. This is why these conditions they will find it a little bit harder against some of the top teams. You know, they want a nice service. They want to stretch teams. You know, you look at the back row they've got, really mobile, really good tacklers, but possibly not the biggest carriers. You know, they're not going to go through teams. They're going to have to create space.
Well, this is an opportunity, like I said, for Jared Evans to show his game management skills. The Blues, I think, have to come from here with something. Playing into the wind, it's such a fillip, isn't it? Such an opportunity for them to come away with something. They are in the 22. Pardon me.
What a Rick, commentator's curse. Oh, no.
Yeah,
No, you
it's
haven't.
been knocked on.
They've got a scrum, which I think...
What were they trying to do then?
No idea what they're trying to do off the line out. Whatever it was knocked on by Benetton. But I think a scrum would suit them more, especially if they really want to attack. It's a little bit too far out for a drive-in line out, really. You know, you're talking, 4 or 5 metres inside the 22. You know, they've got quite a long way. But they get a chance to launch a play. Be interesting now to see what they do. Do they go with like a Josh Turnbull off the base, or maybe Ollie Robinson might pack down at 8 to get a little bit more explosiveness?
Well, I think based on the point you were making a minute ago, they're not. If they're going to do it, then they've got to be using it for someone to burst off with pace to put themselves in a position to set up the next. But the danger from that is that they might isolate themselves, and with this in this day and age. That seems to happen more often.
Where's Darren? Who brings Darren in? Is he gone?
No, Darren's gone.
Oh, he's gone.
But we have got an Uber Eats delivery.
What have we got?
I don't know. Should I look? How do you open it? How do you open the magic Uber Eats box? Try it. Oh, here I go. Dun, dun, dun.
The human head.
It's pizza. It's not. Would you like some pizza, Shanks?
Only if it's Uber Eats, Rick.
Yes.
All right. I'll just talk them through the game whilst.
Whilst I share out the pizza.
Yeah. So thank you, Rick. I got a bite.
So the scrum, that was a bit of an unmitigated disaster.
Yeah, it went down straight away. You think they're going to play something here? Owen Lane really wide on the touchline. Well, he was just trying to stretch the Benetton defence. What you get, those at home, is that when your winger's really tight on the touchline, it just forces the back line defensively just to ship a little bit further wide, just to create a little bit of a separation, because that's what you want. You want like your 13, you want your winger to be looking at sort of Owen Lane, and they're thinking, right, it's going to go wide, I have to give myself a bit more space, and that creates a greater gap between your back line.
Apart from once when I played full back, and I once played on the wing for Cornwall under-21s when someone didn't turn up or got injured or something, they missed the bus or something, so they're very short. I've had it because I was very, very slow, even when I was a scrum half, very slow. And I always had a morbid fear of wide open spaces because I couldn't defend it. I couldn't.
It's so easy to get yourself tied up.
I remember being run around by people. And I look at it out here and it just terrifies me. You know, just as I just don't know what you do. Someone.
It's horrific, mate.
Someone with gas.
Yeah. Sometimes, you know, it's just better if they step inside you, because then potentially you're going to have cover across. But you've got to keep moving. You can't stay still. You can't get on your haunches. You've got to keep on your toes. It's really difficult. And some people are brilliant at it. Some people are, you know, you look at some of the best defenders in the world, you know, they're constantly moving. You know,
who would you say the best midfield defenders in the world are in the, you know, the contemporaries, last sort of 10 years or so?
Driscoll's really good. Conrad Smith, really good. You're probably talking like Conrad Smith, like he was fast, but you're not saying no, but and he's not. He wasn't like electric. Certainly fast, but just really well read. Jamie Robinson, really good drift defender.
We'll come back to that because that's interesting chat. The Blues have got a roll on here, and they've rolled right into the corner, and I think they've got a try, and that will be, as we said, not against the grain. They've been more in the game. The first sort of 10-15 minutes, Benetton were down down the Blues half, but in the last 10 minutes, the Blues have been pushing, and they've got a try. I can't begin to tell you who scored it, but we can watch it through the coverage here. Now the line-out was won well by Rory Thornton. Thornton played well against Ulster. I thought him and Ratty.
Well, Christian Dacey's got to the back, hasn't he?
Dacey's driving it round now. Scott Andrews is kind of pulling the van. Then Domachevsky seems to be going in for it. I think Scott Andrews has peeled away with it. I think it is. Is it? It is. No, it's not. It's Thornton. How on earth did that happen?
He catches it. He sets it up.
But it's not. He's enormous. How did he manage to smuggle himself in there?
Well, Christian Dacey gets really close. Then they just manage to transfer the ball back. Thornton joins it again and just manages to peel around the side and get himself up. But what is pleasing is that when they're hitting the 22 of Benton, they're coming away with points.
Yeah.
I
mean, if he can land this 10-0 into this wind with half an hour gone, could be. That is a very, very nice cushion.
It's a tough kick, though, this.
Looks all right. No, just across the face of the goal. Flags stay down.
I think that's been one of the pleasing things, I think, for the Blues this season so far, is that they haven't been controlling games that well. They haven't had the possession, but when they've had possession, they've been so clinical.
You're right. The game against... Both the games, actually, the games against Connacht and the games against Ulster, they were under enormous pressure on their own line. Showed enormous resilience, tremendous resilience.
Yeah.
Huge. And against Connacht, it was like the rope-a-dope, wasn't it? They came off the ropes. Yeah. They even with a man in the bin.
But you think about Ulster, the only way that Mike Lowry scored that try is because it just opened up because it was a poor pass.
Exactly. That ball to ground thing that's so
if that pass goes to hand, they're defending that.
Yeah, it's weird.
But, like Munster as well, they had hardly any ball. But when they did get the ball, they struck really well off it. Alex Summerhill scored a nice try. Scored another one off set piece then as well.
The Blues have successfully managed to negotiate a restart.
But I think a lot of that as well is down to, you like some Richie Rees have come in as backs coach now and had a bit of time with the boys, trying to find a sort of playing style that suits them, an attack that suits them. And it is showing.
They're nice to watch. I don't mind watching the Blues because they have a go. They're playing they're trying to play a bit of rugby. Like you said, they don't have the platform to turn it into an arm wrestle.
No, not at the moment.
So they don't. Jess won that line-out ball against the head, and so they're just slowly starting to dominate this game up front, which is not actually what we would have expected.
They don't have the luxury of having like Ian Henderson or a Kutsia, players like that. They're just monsters. They just love contact. Dominate collisions.
Not sure I'd be kicking it in that often, although they've done this big Tavu Yayara, which I've no doubt mispronounced dreadfully. He's come off his wing to field the box kick. Subsequent,
but this is good play from the Blues. They've got
pinned him back, isn't it?
They've got 3 minutes left. They're 8 points up. They've been playing against the wind, and playing against the wind forces you to play a little bit more because you can't kick it.
Good kick over it was turned over, and there's a bit of an opportunity here now for Riviera. He's managed to get it out to Ioane.
But this is where they really need to switch on now.
They
a couple of minutes left.
Not to concede. They're just no penalties, nothing. Just number up, snuff it out. There's numerical advantage out to the right, but the Blues' infield defence has slowed them down enough, I think, to
This is
the immediate threat.
There's a little bit of game management they probably need to work a little bit. It's like, you don't have to hit rucks now. You just need a fan out.
Yeah.
Like Ireland did against Wales, didn't really compete with ruck. One person can compete if you want. You just fan out and you number up.
And in so doing, I think they've heard you and they're doing it, and they're forcing.
Well, I said it quite loud, mate.
Yeah, they're forcing Treviso backwards. So the threat from the turnover ball is gone.
Yeah.
And so they now just need to manage it.
But most penalties come from the ruck. If you're not competing at the ruck, then you're not going to give away penalties. You give yourself a little bit extra yard on side.
Turnbull's in there.
Yeah.
No, they've managed to get it back though.
And conditions like this suit line speed, so they've got to make sure they come off the line quick.
Again, no, you're right. No one's committed, and in the end, Hayward is forced to grubber it down into the corner. Matt Morgan scampers across, slides across the glassy surface, gathers it, and I suppose he had no choice because he had to get it. He had to make sure he secured possession.
Yeah, and
slid into touch, so it's going to be a Treviso ball, but that's fine. More time going to be eaten up on the clock. What we got? A minute and a half?
Yeah, we've got a minute and a half. They're just on the Blues 22 now. You can't imagine this ball coming out of the line out. They want to take it. They probably want to drive it, keep it short, and try and milk a penalty, force a penalty.
Absolutely. It is 8-0. You're listening to Blues coverage online, sponsored by Aspen Waite Wales. The chief exec, Darren Talbot, was here for a bit. Now he's gone.
Director.
Is he not chief exec? I think
It is.
Oh, he's back. It is. He's come back. He topped and tail in the half. You enjoyed it?
Yeah, good stuff. Yeah.
Darren, brought back into shot. Come on.
No,
it's going to be social distance.
Social distance, yeah.
The 2 meters from me is, I like how I said last time, I got my own gravitational field, so you'd be pulled in.
I had to stand back and get my face in something as well. So.
Enjoyed it?
Yeah, it's good so far. Terrible conditions on it.
It is awful, but I think we've reckoned that the wind is blowing in Treviso's favour, so we reckon that the Blues have had a good half.
Yeah.
And they'll be happy to try and just work down the clock. It's going to be a last throw of the dice in this half anyway. The line-out is on the Blues 22, and they've nicked it. Well, they've nicked it. One of the Treviso players, I think it was Rutza, the second row, just Scott Andrews did. He just spilled it. He seemed to get both hands on it.
Yeah.
It's come down on the Blues side, and the Blues chip it out, and they've gone. They're off. That's it. It's half time. In the live coverage brought to you by Aspen Waite Wales and Uber Eats and Costco coffee and 7-Up, I think. 7-Up.
So, Darren, what is Aspen Waite, mate?
Tell us about Aspen Waite.
What does it do?
Look at this.
What does it do? What doesn't it do?
The standards we have to work with here.
Is there some
Look
sort
at
of
the
premium product?
conditions.
No. It's a
Nothing to see here. Move
accountancy
along.
advisory firm.
Yeah.
So yes, we work with lots of different companies across South Wales and the UK.
I missed it. What are you? What do you do?
Accountancy advisory, boring stuff.
Accountancy.
Yeah.
Big stuff all the time.
We work with Darren in Gennaro, so he's the accountant there, yeah.
I should imagine a few people are going to need some creative accountants. Some competent
Yes.
accountants.
Many a Zoom call.
Yeah, definitely. And I think you have to be a social worker first for a start. And so every call you have, 20 minutes for some waltzing. How's it going? How are you doing? And you sort of, terrible. And
How are they doing generally?
Tough stuff out there. Really is difficult. And I think you've got to be winners. Because there's some companies, and they've just businesses you wouldn't expect have actually adapted and are flying. And others you thought they would adapt and haven't.
It's interesting. I mean, people come here for some fun to watch a bit of rugby, so we won't get involved too much with the social commentary of lockdown. But it's been tough. It's tough on everyone. But like everything, out of all adversity, there is opportunities for things to change and for things to adapt and fly. So how long has Aspen Waite? When did you get to Aspen? So Aspen's a tree.
Yeah.
It's a ski resort in Colorado. Why Aspen Waite?
Waite is from the owner, Paul Waite.
Right.
And Aspen is the name of a street that his first business was in.
Really?
Yeah, so they started in Bridgewater as the head office, got a number of offices across the UK. So
okay.
We started one in Wales about 3 years ago.
That's
And one of
interesting.
our first jobs was taking care of the finances of the Blues. I only joined for 3 months, 3 months on a temporary contract for Mr. Holland, and And that's 3 years on then.
So it's worrying when the chief executive also laughs and mentions the finances of the British. Come on in, chief exec.
And I was listening from the outside when you were talking about
Caroline Street O'Shea.
when you
Yeah. That's right.
talking about being in crisis.
I had a company once. My friend Chad and I formed a company. We bought a restaurant.
I know
in
Chad.
the village. You know Chad?
Yeah.
Right. So we formed a company to run our restaurant, and we named it the Emile Fleurdenoy Limited. Do you know who Emile Fleurdenoy is? Do you know who Emile Fleurdenoy is?
No.
Emile Heskey.
Emile Fleurdenoy was the chief executive of the Nice Telephone Company in there. He was the Clouseau character that kept driving his thing into the swimming pool.
Got you.
He was, because Clouseau was Chad and I's hero. We loved Clouseau.
Where was it? The restaurant?
It was in Mousehole in Cornwall,
Oh,
the Cornish Range.
what happened?
No, it was fine. I came out of it. No. It did very, very well.
That was salmon.
And I came out of it to finance my medical career. So there we are. How are you,
And
Dickie?
a fine choice it was. as well.
Indeed,
Doctor.
indeed, and
Have you,
obviously
have you come to chat, or have you come to get a medical?
It's a few issues.
you're looking rather well.
Am I?
Everyone's looking good, actually. I suppose everything's relative.
Because you haven't seen anyone, have you?
Again,
really?
looking,
So,
I look
yeah.
at my,
Good.
locked down a lot,
Very
in a
good.
room on my own,
Yeah.
seeing people by Zoom.
It's an interesting first half. Yeah.
Good
It
first
was
half.
good because we
They
played
played
very
well,
well.
didn't they?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they
I
did. They
think
managed
they
it.
managed it. That's what I was going to
Yeah.
use.
Last sort of 3 or 4 minutes were good. You know, that's when teams tend to get under a lot of pressure and get scored against. No, but every time they've been in a 22, they come away with points.
It's an absolute howl, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, people at home can see the.
You're not in for a
battle.
spectacle, are you?
No. Win second half? Or I don't know where
Well, we're
it's
trying to
going.
work it out, but
It is
Shanks reckons it
in
was
favour,
playing
yeah.
with
It was
favour.
going, yeah. It
but
certainly was.
it's around a little bit, isn't it? I'm not too sure. But you're happy. How so the mood out there? How's the mood within the boardroom? Is everything?
All right, yeah. I mean, it's a bit of a curveball again with Jimbo. Great news for him, obviously.
Yeah.
It's a bit of disruption, but
Like that, yay!
I know sort of. It's we're pleased for him. So it's opportunity. Alan Lawrence and also Teddy Williams. Teddy Williams coming off the bench hopefully for be good.
So that would be his. Is it Teddy who's going to make his debut?
Yep.
Good. I've misspelled everything because I arrived very late.
Yeah, so it's good opportunity for him as well. Hopefully,
It's great to show like the academy strength as well, like showing those shoes.
I think that's the biggest point for us, and
James Botham.
might probably be remiss of me not to mention is a few years ago we brought Griff Rees in to the academy, and we invested in behind it and strengthened that area, and it's bearing fruit, and the guys we got in the national squad, but also what comes in behind it with regards to the those that step into the breach, if you like. So it's they're doing a great job there, and it's been a strategy of
I
ours.
think
It's
like
working.
Shane Lewis-Hughes stepped up really well in the first 2 games he's played, and him and Jim Botham have both been equally as good, like regional level. So you'd think that if he gets a shot, James Botham,
I think
he's
it's
just
an
going
indication
to
of
fly into it.
What they'll do on you'd like to think maybe this selection it's sort of
Yeah.
points to where he might be
Well,
going.
like Josh Navidi, I don't think is fit. Moriarty, I don't think is fit. They'll probably rest Tipperick, maybe to get a look at someone else.
Yeah.
Massive occasion for him.
I mean, the players that you've mentioned there, that may not be available. We don't need to know much more about them, do we? We know what they can do, and this is the chance to.
Yeah.
This is a chance in a tournament that's a new tournament, but it's not a preeminent tournament. It's something that gives us a chance to look at things. I mean,
It won't be easy game either.
Did you watch Georgia?
Yeah.
What did you make of that?
I thought they frustrated England a fair bit. I thought they're going to be good in the breakdown. They lack creativity behind, but I think physically they'll be tough. You know, I don't think they'll create too many tries, sort of through skill. But
brilliant. We're talking about injured and the hopes and legends and people that we. How is it?
It's all right, actually. Yeah,
Good.
good, thank you. Just trying to get fit now.
Well, I know how hard that can be.
you want to stay off Tom Simmons' diet.
No, it's all good.
When you work, I give Rick and I know.
Yeah.
Talk. It's the first time I had a chance to see you. So we're getting. Is it? How long since it's 2 years? Isn't it?
It'll be 2 years, week tomorrow.
So talk me through first of all, the nature of the injury, because I'm interested from medical point of view. But then, what were the because I haven't heard. Honestly,
Batty's leg.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, pretty much.
is it? So what was the nature of the injury?
I dislocated my knee basically. So
Right.
I tore my.
So did it take all the collateral and medials out as well?
Yeah, so I tore my MCL, ACL, partially tore my PCL,
Right.
like my kneecap, my MPFL was gone,
Right.
my popliteal tendon was gone.
So everything.
It was,
What was left intact? Lateral.
Decent
So your
job.
lateral,
lateral
collateral was still
basically,
intact.
because it's sort of bent that way. This wasn't stretched, so it basically went over that way. So I just pulled everything up inside.
So that's complex, and
Yeah,
so the first surgery was it done quickly?
repair.
You have
Yeah,
to
so
let
I
it-
had it done a week.
So let the
week
sweat,
later.
let the swelling go
Well, I
down.
spent a week trying to get the swelling down as much as I could,
Yeah.
obviously with ice and compression.
Right.
And then so I had
Who
the
did it?
Andy Williams.
Yeah,
So I had a ACL graft from my left patella tendon,
amazing.
and
They
then
do that,
an
mate. Have you seen? Have
artificial.
they seen it?
You available next time?
What for typical Rodney? God no.
And then
Surgeons are a different breed.
artificial ligament on my
Have a bottle of red
MCL.
before he does it.
So you got artificial
Tell
on the
them that.
medial.
Yeah.
Why? Why can they do that? Why was it so badly damaged or?
I don't. They had to take it off
Right.
completely because it come off and taken a bit of the bone with it.
Right.
With
That's an avulsion.
I learned that. I'm just about to complete my PhD on knee anatomy. At the moment.
Well, you could, couldn't you? 'Cause
Yeah,
yes, you
well.
get-
I've seen enough scans and
and the surgeries. So
Yeah.
so then what happened? So that
So-
first surgery.
yeah, so
Did
it
it
was,
have to be
it was
revised?
a massive surgery. Like it was a couple of different procedures in one because I was trying to make it work out basically,
Yeah.
and so I had the operation in December. I had a lateral tenodesis
Right.
as well, so they sort of strip a bit of my IT band and tie it into my LCL. Yeah, my lateral.
Yeah.
It's like belt and braces.
And did that-
the term they use.
That went well. Or?
I don't know. It's given me a bit of jet, but it's meant to really help with re-injury. So, hopefully it will. Anyway.
And so you didn't have to have any revision then. You just
So started rehabbing, and then I had a cyclops lesion, and basically a load of scar tissue in there. I could get it straight, but not quite the full extension. So I had another clean out then in May. Rehabbed. I was running and stuff, but it was just getting really, really, really sore and swelling up.
Afterwards.
So I could run and sprint in a straight line, it was fine, but I couldn't do a bodyweight squat. So then I went to Philadelphia, and so like we're talking a year and 2 months later, I went to Philadelphia, and then the plan back to Philadelphia was rehab for 6 weeks and like go hard, trying to get the range and strength, and if you're still struggling, have an operation. And then COVID happened, so I ended up rather than having the operation like start of April, I had it end of July.
so from your point of view now, it could be one of the things that you COVID's like an ill wind that's blown a bit of good to give you a chance to really then. There's no urgency now. You can just make sure you come back absolutely as good as can be after that nature of injury.
Sort of, yeah. Like obviously, in an ideal world, I would have had the operation in April. So having it in July is obviously another 3 months then down the line, but not missing any games at the same time. So, and they have said like time is like this sort of injury needs a lot of time.
How about it? Nice to see you.
Oh,
Do you come back
Yeah, I'll see you
at
afterwards.
any point?
They said like it could be 2 years, like two and a half years before it's back to feeling
In your
normal.
heart, how do you feel about it?
That's the
The
one
last
that,
couple of weeks, like I've really turned the corner. Like if you'd asked me 6 weeks ago,
It's been up that,
uh,
missing
yeah.
the World Cup. What was that?
Well, at the time, I didn't. I was like, nowhere near it, and then I thought it was fine, and then Andrew knelt down about it afterwards. So I was like, maybe that affected me more than
Yeah.
like subconsciously.
I suppose when you see how well they were doing as well,
Yeah,
you could be
I'd say-
part of that. You sort
Yeah,
of
well-
feel
Well, and
left out
you
there.
played in the team that beat the blood. I can say bloody.
Yeah.
No, you're documenting, you're allowed
Yeah,
to.
and I can.
Yeah.
And it's a technical.
Hemoglobin.
You beat the blood. Yeah, you beat the bloody world champs.
Yeah,
Champ.
twice actually.
Yeah.
Seba tried, didn't he?
Exactly.
Tom Francis.
Man,
I
man, full time.
Lovely to see you.
Oh,
Good to see you back.
Yeah, you too.
Thanks
See
for
you.
popping in.
And you.
So
see
stick
you.
around. Obviously,
This podcast.
stick around for
No, mate,
it's,
no, it's just better
it's
than that.
live streaming.
Oh, is it?
Apparently,
Yeah.
there's 74 people watching us. How many now? We must have picked up. No, we've got
Six.
Ellis.
I
Oh my God,
thought your flats were.
Yeah,
No, fats. I'm fats.
that's what
Fats
younger.
is much more articulate.
No, he's
Blues
not
first
around
half. They actually, we were saying that the forwards, because you expect Benetton to give him a bit of an examination.
Yeah.
Actually, on the balance, I think the Blues packaged it.
Yeah, obviously we dropped the ball twice in 22.
Yeah.
That didn't help.
It really didn't help.
Well,
But
off the kick-off and off the line-out,
we've
wasn't it?
done well to, keep them up, score the.
Does Phil Scott get some stick for that? I think he ought to get some stick for that.
Who?
But Scott Andrews
Oh, yeah.
for spilling that one.
I was saying he's actually quite a skillful player, isn't he?
He is
normally?
actually, he's the most skillful tight end I've ever.
Tight end stroke second row
But he claims he's the most skillful forward in
in the world.
In the pack.
Okay.
He constantly tells, every time I drop the ball, he always tells me that he's more skillful than me.
And we just nicked another line out. That's brilliant work.
That one time I dropped the
Oh,
ball.
come on. He was so out of play then.
This, to be honest, like the team selection probably suits us. Our team selection. Picking like Ratty at 6.
Yeah, he's big, isn't he?
He's big, but powerful.
Are you a good watcher, or have you just learned to cope with it now?
I've been fine. I'm finding it now. I'm back running and sort of doing a bit of skills and stuff. I'm a bit more like for a long time. I was like, oh, I wouldn't be able to do that anyway.
Yeah.
But now I'm like, I can do a better job of it. While
Yeah.
I'm watching it, so it's tough. Got gym starting on the weekend anyway.
Yeah.
Live or-
We were talking about that. But I don't know why he'd be in if he wasn't. If they wouldn't have a look at him.
Yeah, gotta be in me.
Yeah. It's interesting Johnny McNichols come back in as well, I think. You know,
When he comes back?
He was
Johnny
so,
McNichol.
he was
Yeah.
so good. Last
He was good. He was really good. But he scares defenders, and Wales don't really have that at the moment.
Well, I mean, oh no! The Treviso. So it's
He's
into
not
the second
right,
half.
is
The Treviso.
Who's that?
Willis, he's limping.
Treviso almost inviting
Yeah.
the Blues just to run at them then,
Mm.
backing off.
He's another one, I think. If he'd been, he's not quite fit yet, Willis.
No.
I think if he was fit, I think he'd be in the squad as well. No.
Well, he
The
did
Welsh
play in the. Did he play? Because he took himself out of the game against Ulster, didn't he, just before kickoff. In
Yeah.
the warm up, he felt that something just wasn't quite right, so he took himself out. And Garen Smith then.
I think he got injured the day. He got injured in the team run the day
Did he?
before. I think he pulled out in the team run the day
But-
before.
Oh right.
It's heavily strapped right leg, which is never a great sign, I don't think.
No.
And he's not functioning like he was last year. At the
He's
moment. Yeah.
He has an antalgic gait. Oh yes.
Right, I'm go back outside.
Good to see you.
You're on stay.
Good to see you.
Too warm in
You've
here.
you've elevated
Yeah.
the standard of the commentary by a factor.
It's been streamed, is it?
It has been streamed across Facebook and YouTube and
Warner Brothers. So
One Brothers, yeah.
Twitter, so we have to be careful, otherwise it might get censored. Please take some Uber Eats pizza with you.
going to do that.
Oh, okay.
mate, you see what he eats from Tom Simmons.
Being an athlete. Oh, what does he have
Oh,
for Tom
mate,
Simmons?
he has to have a dessert, I think. When he's ordering online, like always clicks dessert. You're one of those.
Right, changes already happening. Thomas Gallo comes on. I'm not sure who's taking the place of. 17 is usually loose head prop, isn't it?
What's the most numbers we've had so far on this, Harry? Like, what's the most numbers you've had so far logging in?
This evening.
No, just in general. Last 3 weeks you've done it.
150 once on Facebook alone.
Right.
On Facebook alone, 150.
Yeah, it's probably weekend game, wasn't it? Not Monday.
We had it was Monday nights. Yeah, the weekend game. I don't know how many we have for that one.
Is there football on tonight?
I think so.
No, I think there is, mate. It's Monday night football.
There's bound
Must
to
be.
something.
Yeah. Must
Otherwise,
be.
they'd be queued up in the
Yeah,
middle
they're-
for the.
It's a repeat of Masters Day 4 as well, so yeah, people
Did you see that?
Yeah,
Are
loved
you-
it.
are you a big
Yeah,
golfer?
man. I've hit golf hard in lockdown.
DJ is he was something else.
He's brilliant. Like, it must be hard, like going out with 4-shot lead. No, you have to keep that. It's a lot easier for someone chasing.
The highlight of it for me though was watching. Did you watch John Rahm scuff one, 150, about 70 yards, topped it
No,
into the trees, Then
Brilliant.
his next one, into a tree.
I
Just
saw.
like me at Cardiff. I hit golf hard this summer. I joined Cardiff Golf Club.
Oh, did you?
I did.
Of course, I like it.
It is. I was shamed into it by Rydian Hurl, who's one of the surgeons I used to work under at Princess of Wales. He shamed me into joining. Blues are leading 8-0.
Well, it's a nice bit of passenger play actually there by Benetton. They kept the ball for 4 or 5 phases, but then just decent Blues defence. The breakdown penalty with them, they win themselves a penalty right on the halfway line. Do you know what? I don't think Jared's probably got a big enough boot for it, but it may be in range because of the wind.
I do agree with you. I think the wind is moving that way, and because of this permanent fine spray that's in the air, you can see the drift. You can see that it is drifting that way, but it also seems to be swirling a little bit. Almost looks like snow.
Yeah, it is. It's not nice conditions out there. You can probably see, or if you can or not, on the replay.
I mean, if you look at the TV pictures, why would anybody be watching on TV and watching us at the same time? But obviously, we provide a better commentary than
It's more relaxed. There's less bias.
But he certainly can have a pop-up goal. I think this is what's interesting is the nature of the game and the discipline. And the Blues' discipline has been good. And I just think compared to the Ulsters and the Munsters, Treviso just don't have the tools to make the Blues pay.
Not at the moment. Not
to hurt them quite so much on the line.
Probably because the Blues' defence has really stepped up a notch this season, so they do become a difficult team.
Who's responsible for that?
Richard Hodges is in charge of defence, so you have to put the credit down to him, and obviously John Mulvihill as well, who oversees everything. It's a team effort, but they just look organised. They know what they're doing.
I knew Richard. I don't know why I asked you the question.
I
spoke to him on the first game. So
their tackle technique is good. They're not going high, so they're not using soak-up tackles. They're going low. When the flip side, you look at, say, the Scarlets, and a lot of their players have been going high in tackles, and they had 3 red cards, in the first 4 games, all from high tackles. So,
what game did I watch? And someone got a red card.
Was it All Blacks, Australia?
I think
There's 2 red cards in that.
You're just going, oh my God, let's just pack it out and go home.
Yeah, it is a little bit like that sometimes. I think.
Oh, bit of trouble here. Good pick and go by the number 8. They come. This is Benetton in possession, just trying to get out of their own half. They are playing into the wind. They're playing from the changing room end of Rodney Parade. Still find it odd that this is the Blues' home. This is where the Blues operate from now. And the kick into the air, the box kick, was an absolute disaster from Bradley. It's gone straight down Ben Murphy's throat. And the Blues, Scott Andrews, Domachowski is limping quite badly. As a bit of kick tennis goes on, Matthew Morgan has it about 10 metres outside his own 22. Punts it lazily down toward the Benetton 22, where it is gathered by Hayward. Hayward has his kick charge down very impressively. Can't quite make out who charged it down, and they're looking a bit sheepish about it now. Lumbering back. I think it hurt him. It was indeed Big James Ratty that charged the kick down. And there's no advantage coming to the Blues from a knock-on, is it? Oh, no,
I think it's a penalty, yeah. I'm not sure what it's given for.
A penalty at that breakdown. Now, worryingly, Corey Domachowski is receiving some attention.
I'll have a look on the replay now and try and tell you what it's for.
Alan Lawrence has already joined the fray. He must have taken the place of, I think it's Ollie Robinson's.
Yeah, the penalty was for not rolling away in the tackle. It seemed pretty harsh, actually, because the ball was there to be played. But the refs are so hot on that now. If you're in the way in any shape or form, it's a penalty straight away, even if you're trying to get out the way.
Well, I like the spirit of that law.
If rucking is allowed.
If you can get them out the way.
But I tell you, that stops people lying on balls. You know, it's
It certainly was a disincentive, wasn't it?
yeah.
You know, you might do it once or twice, but you're not going to do it all day. I don't know. We might be viewed as old dinosaurs, but I mean, that's the funny thing, how brutal this game is now.
Mm.
You know, 30 years ago, when I was last playing the game, or, you know, 25, 30, 20 years ago,
40.
it was, you know, rugby was always a tough old game.
It's tough in different ways now,
but it's
isn't it?
tougher now in terms of the collision and how many times you collide, because the way the game is set up for that is very much, you know, ball carrying and contact.
There's less space now, isn't there? You know, so it's defenses are a lot tighter, so you've got to break teams down differently. Whilst, you know, even when I look back to sort of 20 years ago, you know, that you'd be able to create space, there'd be either a natural overlap or defenses wouldn't be as organised. But now, because defenses do just as much work as you do an attack.
Well, I mean, it'd be absolutely long-busted to play this game because it's like rugby league.
Yeah.
But with scrummaging, and that's just no fun. At least rugby league was up and back.
Yeah.
That in defence, you went up, you went back, you come up, you go back, and that was long-busting. You know, in offence, if you're prop, you carry it, and that'd be hard work. But then you'd only do it 4 times, and the other team gets the ball, and you drop. You know, that was pretty. But if you keep possession for like 15, 16 phases, still try and keep your shape, as Treviso are trying to do now. They're through about phase 4. They're just 10 metres outside of the Blues 22. They've got a penalty advantage coming again for not rolling away. This time it's against Rory Thornton, try-scoring hero here tonight at Rodney Parade. The Blues line is dog-legged a little bit there, and if they did get it wide, there'd have been a huge hole between Jared Evans and Willis Halahola. He's not moving right.
No. I mean, surely you'd see that up in the top. There is advantage at the moment to Benetton.
Still a penalty advantage.
They're getting
coming,
quick ball.
and they are moving it right. It's into the hands of their big Fijian winger, Taviara. And he is big.
Yeah. But, you know, you're right. Willis Halahola is not right. He's digging in. The leg's heavily strapped, but
This is difficult. I think there's been strapping added to that since we commented on it.
well, this penalty is near enough central, just outside the 22 to Benetton. They've opted to go for the corner. Just about got it 5 metres out. But, you know, for a team that's not got any points on the board, it's still early doors in the second half. You'd think that they'd probably take the guarantee 3.
2 changes they're making. Pasquale Tiziano and Herbst Ernie.
What was that?
I don't know, you tell me. Herbst. I could have either completely misspelled it because I was typing it rather quickly on my way in. You've got the app, it'll be official.
Yeah, no, it's
Herbst, is it?
yeah.
Herbst.
Ernie Herbst.
Ernie Herbst. Have joined the phrase.
You just sort of, there's a bit of a momentum swing, isn't there? The last sort of 5 or so minutes. You know, start of this second half, the Blues were in control until a penalty given away, really, for
not rolling away.
For not rolling away. And at the moment, the Blues just having to absorb a little bit of pressure. It's well in the end of the second half here. They've done well really all season in these situations. You know, like, yeah, teams like Munster and Ulster have scored against them, but they've made them work for 5, 6, 7, 8 phases.
What they've managed to do very well tonight is nick line-out ball. They haven't been given an opportunity. That was just never straight in a million years. It's come out the back very quickly. I thought they might have gone for the drive, but they've not. They've been a bit more adventurous. They've knocked it forward. So it was the winger, Ioane, they brought in off his wing. He's knocked it on, and the Blues will live to fight another day. You just, again, you know, you just get that is the kind of thing that the Munsters and the Connaughts and the Ulsters don't do. But the sound ruthlessness, you know,
it's core skills.
Yeah.
You know, they got some athletes in that team. There's no doubt about that. But, you know, core skills of simple things like taking the ball into contact and not losing it. You know, the weather's, you know, not great today, but, you know, I'm not sure who that was actually that took it in. It's Monty Ione takes it in, but as he lands on the ground, the ball just spurts out. It's a shame really, because initially it was quite a slick move.
Surprisingly, for such a crap line, we haven't had that many scrums. And the Blues do extremely well because Treviso would be going at them there. The ball's come straight to the back. It was held beautifully. Ultimately, it all collapses. Turnbull picks it up and drives towards the touchline. 6-7 metres out, as is the way. Just back now to Jared Evans. Not the most comfortable looking kick, almost sort of jabbed it. It's made it to the halfway line.
A little bit short on numbers on the right here.
Comes Taviara, and he stepped inside. Great tackle, I think, by Thornton, was it? Or there were a couple of boys involved. Thornton.
Yeah, it might have been Thornton. I'll tell you who's Alan Lawrence has come on and made a couple of real rocking tackles. You know, proper good technique, going low, hitting hard.
Nice to see.
You've got to be brave to tackle like that. You know, like a Dan Lydiate style. You know, it's like it hurts when you tackle that. It's quite easy to go high
because
and
they're the moving parts.
Yeah.
There, the knees and the you know, that's where you get hurt, is when a knee hits you in the side of the head.
It's a lot softer, you know, around the chest area.
Unless you run into it as it's on its way down. But
You've got a chest like me, I thought you were saying.
But no, it's those are the core skills that you learn. I certainly used to.
Yeah.
Take them low.
They've had to redefine, you know, what an aggressive tackle is now.
I'm not that unhappy about it. I just think that because there was a lot of high hitting going on. There were a lot of shoulder, you know, a lot of that rugby league style, you know, where you get one man goes in, takes the legs, another man wraps up the ball, and then someone just comes in to finish him off just for good luck. And you don't really want that. But I don't want to see a tackle that sort of hits the and rises up.
Yeah.
And the arm just comes up and tucks someone on the chin.
Yeah.
And then the player starts going, "Aah!"
Yeah.
And that's the thing that upsets me more than anything, is seeing the players trying to milk it and throwing their arms.
It's always
up
difficult when it's a two-man tackle, you know, like a player gets half tackled into your channel.
Yeah.
You know, that's got to be more of a mitigating factor.
I think it was the prop, wasn't it? The All Black prop that got the red. I was just going.
But also, like when you're defended, you're not.
Penalty coming for the Blues off that scrum. They got minced a bit. They
did well actually.
But the penalty has come, I think, because Treviso disengaged. But they're taking the penalty, or they're not taking the penalty. It's not been paid yet. Referee still got his arm out. It's advantage. They're 30 metres out. Kick to nothing from Hill over the top. Halahollo wraps up.
Yeah. I mean, they just tried a little chip over them because of the penalty advantage.
Coming.
But just in terms of like defending now, like no player defends like crouch low. You know, you've got to defend up tall because you've got to adjust to attackers. So it's really difficult to get low sometimes in a position to tackle. You know, often you've got to go high because you've got so much going around in front of you, so much change of direction that, you know, if you're low down, you're not going to be able to move.
No, and when you're the shape of a prop, you've not got much. You're not going to have much vertical range of movement anyway.
No. Before
you're off balance. So if you brace, and I just thought it was crackers. That was another good game, that Wallabies All Black game.
Yeah.
When did the All Blacks last lose 2 games on the spin?
Mm.
It's a good trivia question. Google that one. When did the All Blacks last lose 2 games on the spin? Well, let's ask the audience. Both of them.
Yeah.
Wake up. When did the All Blacks last lose 2 games on the spin? Right.
You wouldn't want to play them next week, though, would you?
No. Who's got them next?
I'll tell you now.
It can't be the Box. They're out of it.
Argentina have got them again on the 28th.
Yikes.
Yeah, in Argentina. I mean, they've had their World Cup now, haven't they? You know, no one will care for All Blacks to put 60 points on them, will they?
There's not, apart from a couple of French teams, you know, who's beaten the All Blacks? The Irish have beaten them.
Yeah.
2011 and 2006 on this one. So 2011 was the last one.
2011. Who did they lose to in 2011? Was that World Cup? Was that in the Championship? It wouldn't be in the World Cup because they won the World Cup that year, didn't they? And they did lose a group game, I think. So they couldn't have lost 2.
Last time he was at home was 1998, was it? Both games at home. 1998.
1998. Good Lord. Right, Treviso, box kick from their 10-metre line. Beautifully taken
really
by
good take.
Alan Amos. Has he shaved his head off? Not his head, sorry, his hair. His head appears to silver there, did he?
Yeah.
But did he have that? That's a new look for him, isn't it?
Age, must be.
Long ruck presented back to Hill. Hill box kicks. It's going to come down round about the Benetton 10. Great kick. there's a real bit of obvious shepherding going on there by the fullback Taviara, by the right winger Taviara, just keeping the Blues defender away from the ball catcher, preventing them driving him into touch. So Benetton have possession, a couple of phases, and they've made and James Hill runs around offside. His opposite number Bradley kicks it back to Jared Evans. Jared Evans invites Matthew Morgan to try and open something up, and instead he kicks it downfield. It's not a great one. Jaden Hayward is on it, makes it over the halfway line. The Blues jackal him, and I think there's a penalty coming. There's something coming. The referee's arm's out. Treviso is scuffling forward on the floor, about a yard or so into the Blues line, right in the middle of the field. The Blues continue to lead this game, brought to you by Aspen, Waite, Wales, streaming on the Facebook and on Twitter and on YouTube. They lead 8-0. Their defence has been exemplary tonight, and they have now won another penalty by forcing Treviso to be very lateral, isolating their ball carrier and getting them for holding on.
Yeah, well, they're putting a lot of pressure on Treviso when the Treviso are attacking. Neither team really looks like cutting free. Neither team's really looks like scoring or breaking the line, but the Blues defence again rock solid.
It is absolutely, and again we have to give credit to Richard Hodges. And the players, obviously, the players themselves have to implement it. It's a really important chapter of the game, this now, because I think Jared Evans, if he finds a good touch, which it looks like he has, this gives the Blues a chance to close this out. If they get a score from here, and they take this into a team's lead, and force Benetton to have to score twice, two converted tries to win it, then I can't see that happening in these conditions in this game.
The penalty count at the moment is 16-5. Is he gone?
We knew there was something right with him. He's lasted just about 54 minutes. He has literally limped off into the corner and will make his way around. And the ball has been nicked by Benetton. That was crucial.
Yeah, it's crucial, but it's still a good attacking opportunity for the Blues. Deep inside, really Benetton's half.
That's a very positive spin to put on it.
Yeah, they've got the ball.
I'm going to call you on that. I'm going to call bullshit when I see it. That's rubbish, man. They had a line out on the 5-meter line, and it was nicked.
What did you call it?
I didn't. It was BS. I'm calling BS.
Well, they're on the 22, right? So it's not the end of the world.
Okay, and it's Thornton. Perhaps they're going to replicate the try the full half. Rory Thornton. Think of Charteris in the middle of a line out like an octopus, pulling the Cardiff Blues forward. It all goes down. The ball squeezes in the arms of a Blues player toward the touchline. They're in about the 5-meter channel. Hill brings it back to a pod of Blues players just outside the Benetton 22, moving right to left now. Eager carriers taken up by Alan Lawrence, who's been lively. You're right, since he came on, he's made himself very available. Every single Blues player now is to the right of the ruck. So if you're defending it now, you just go, well, there's no point being down here. And does that not make it even in the middle of the field now? And all of a sudden, Owen Lane and Hallam Amos come running across because it was so obvious that was the only way they could go. Making heavy weather of it now, the Blues, and they've given a penalty away because it all became a bit laboured. Right, what went wrong there, Tom? Because they had a good opportunity and it all just went a bit...
We're almost sounding professional then. They were trying to go for the penalty, really. There was no chance of them actually cutting through the Benetton line. They put a lot of pressure on them. They went the same way, ran out of supporters, I think, and was just turned over. I'm going to have a look at the... Yeah. They lose the ball in the ruck, poor clean out.
And then, the ball goes missing.
Lots of numbers, really.
I think it's actually... Was it Alan? Who was it that put his leg then back on it? To try and stop the Benetton players getting their hands on it.
One man in the ruck, 2 Blues players, couldn't get rid of I'm not sure who that is for
I
Benetton.
think Owen Lane's doing the rucking, so that's always going to be a problem for you when you've got your wingers in there.
Yeah, just ran out of numbers really.
He did get
If you can win a ruck with 2, brilliant. But to be sure, in conditions like that, you take 3.
Right.
It's poor play really.
This was just disappointing because we said it was a great opportunity for the Blues to really take a stranglehold of this game, and instead they field a box kick inside their own halfway line, inside their own half, but literally halfway between the 22 and the halfway line, 10 metres in from touch, over on the far side, the old Hazel stand side of the famous old Rodney Parade ground. Another box kick that's going to come down just inside the Treviso half. It was taken well by Taviara, but the Blues defence was up equally as well and met him as he came to ground. And so nothing much happening, all just a little box kicky inside that middle channel of the field. And the Blues will be happy with that.
Yeah, they were. It was a close kick, actually. Probably not as close as Benetton actually wanted. That was Callum Bradley, put the ball up, just bounced before the line. Matthew Morgan let it go. But yeah, it's you need to win the line out first.
They've taken it well. It was taken by Thornton. He's had a good game today.
Yeah, he's done well. He's done well.
Both in the line-out and in his general around the field play. And this is a good drive by the Blues. They might get themselves a penalty, and they have. So, good play. They drove on and forced Treviso to collapse the ruck illegally, the driving maul illegally. There's no need to do that. You'll get himself injured, disappearing up blind alleys where big men lurk, just trying to run. I know you got to play to nothing, but
it's like a quarterback, isn't it?
Yeah, just don't do it.
Just drop the ball.
Yeah, just right. Just kick it off.
Yeah.
You got a penalty.
But I think they're going to start. I have to look at yellow cards soon. The amount of penalties that Benetton have been given away is huge. A lot in the breakdown, a couple in the scrum.
I guess they have. They've pulled the last couple of Blues driving lineouts down because that was the genesis of the last attacking play they had that led to the Blues then ultimately giving a penalty away themselves. It's still delicately poised. This 8-0's not enough because there's still, what time we got left? There's still 20 minutes. 20 minutes of the match to go.
But you knew when you turned up here and you saw the conditions, you knew it wasn't going to be an epic. You knew it wasn't going to be sort of a game that was littered with tries. It was going to be.
Well, we are really moving.
Damage limitation game, really. It's a team that makes less mistakes gives away less amount of penalties, and that's been the Blues so far. It's been promising, but they haven't quite pulled away like we possibly thought. Still 8 points in it. And you think Benetton turned down a chance to go for goal in the start of the second half, right in front of the post. They went for the line out, messed that up. So you just think now if the Blues do score next, that will essentially seal the game off.
I think you're right. Thornton has taken that line out as well. They've driven it profitably infield. They're on about the 15-metre line now, about 10 metres out, and there's a set of forwards have splintered off, and that's redoubled the Blues' effort there. The ruck is eventually formed. It's a little bit slow now. I think I'd have liked that to have gone away by now. That's a part of the game that's kind of devolved from my point of view, when the ball can be at the back of a ruck like that, and the scrum half can just stand there for 2 or 3, what seems like an eternity. Oh, now there's the hole. Owen Lane is right through it, and he's stepped off his left foot, and that's going to be the game-sealing try. Absolutely beautiful. Jared Evans picked that line. It was an outside line, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, at one stage, I thought the ref was going to blow up with advantage. One of the Blues players gets absolutely hammered back by a great tackle from Benetton. But fair play to him, he plays advantage. And then lovely break. We're just watching here on the replay. Oh, it's Ben Murphy gets absolutely hammered. And you think that's when he's going to blow up. But Jared Evans ends up putting it behind Garen Smith, who runs a short decoy line to Owen Lane and That's a wonderful step off the left. You know,
He almost overbalanced himself, but he kept just
but
incredible.
you get sort of two types of players that can step. Some actually have to slow down a lot to step. You know, like a Lee Halfpenny. You know, he can't step at full pace. Or you get someone like Owen Lane that just steps bang and doesn't lose any momentum. Oh, it's a great bit of footwork, especially in these conditions as well.
He's a lump too. Isn't
He is a lump, you know, and a balanced lump as well.
Yeah. Fantastic, and the kick was good. The game, you would say, is now the Blues to lose. Scott Andrews has had apart from that one catastrophic error on his own line, which we've hardly mentioned.
No,
Hardly mentioned it at all.
but I don't think you can underestimate
He's gone off, but he's had a good game.
how good this Benetton side is. You know, they've turned a lot of teams over in this league. You know, predominantly at home, but they can still cause teams trouble. The conditions, I think, would suit them far
You would
more
have
than the
thought
Blues.
so. I'm impressed. This would be I mean, you look. Let's be sensible about this. If you're a professional sporting team, you expect to win your home games.
Massively,
Right?
100%.
So you would be disappointed if the Blues hadn't won today. I was disappointed they lost to Ulster. I thought they lost because the ref lost control of the game at one point and wasn't sure what to do. But Mr. Martin Ryan has entered the room. And I'd rather have you this side of the window than that side, Martin. We couldn't see anything. There we are. But lovely to see you.
You say that, yes.
Good to see you, chap.
Couldn't be happy with that try then, Martin.
Very happy in the lane train.
Yes,
The lane train.
My prediction is they're going to fold like a pack of cards and we'll get a bonus point.
that would be
Really?
nice.
You think?
Well, yeah.
Well,
It's a difficult game to score tries at the moment. I mean, that was a really well
that was
worked
a
try.
gem. That I didn't think we were going to see anything like that.
No, he's,
That was a bonus, Rick.
And it was. This is what I expect to see more of. And Treviso now finally decided they're going to turn the screw ball in hand. But they were held up. Their maul was held up, and they went to ground. And it's going to be a scrum to the Blues. And the big South African, Ernie Erbst, who we think we might have mispronounced, but we're not sure. Neither do we much care.
is that the substitute?
Yeah, he had something to say to the ref. Ref just said, "Yeah, whatever."
He's a big man.
There's some big boys out there. On the,
We were just sort of saying as well, like it's actually a massive game for the Blues as well. You know, off losing 3 on the trot. You know, you want to think, you know, teams like Benetton that come to your home ground. I know it's not essentially a proper home ground, but on home turf, really, you know, you should be winning these games.
They're away, Shanks. That's
Yeah.
what you're trying to say. Well, you would hope so, wouldn't you? You would hope so.
And it's good that it's come through actually, because these games do have a
Particularly as it's
banana skin type of feel to them sometimes.
it's a real arm wrestle, which is not naturally our strength.
it's
And
interesting.
losing Ollie was obviously
Losing Jim before the game as well.
Although we're very pleased. Obviously, he's getting his opportunity.
Yeah.
Try that once more with feeling. We're very pleased.
No,
We're very pleased.
We are
that he's
very
getting
pleased.
his
No, we are.
opportunity.
Of course, I mean, it's fantastic. We've got so many
Just
people
missing him.
in the squad. It just makes life very difficult. But
It's also, you know, it's the team looks different when Jared is at 10. You know, there's no doubt about that. You know,
well, I think both halfbacks have played pretty well.
Yeah,
tonight, haven't
yeah, they have.
they? Good kicking options.
They have played well because it's
I mean, it's difficult. You don't really appreciate just
It's
quite
good
how
scrum.
difficult it is.
Yeah.
very good scrum by the Blues. 5 minutes out from their own lines, give an opportunity for Turnbull, who never lets you down. He picks up, makes a further 5 yards himself, lays the ball back, and it's like long ruck. It's a long ruck has been formed now.
Josh Turnbull is like a
The
classic
conga
example
line.
of a player that you just want in your squad.
Yeah, he's
You know,
brilliant. He just never lets you down.
You see, that's another very good kick.
Yeah.
You're tugging the
That's
touch
straight
line.
out. That's going to go out, isn't it? Oh, he's bananaed it. He's done a banana kick down the touchline that has big Ilyesa Taviara, and the Blues return it with interest. That's gone in to touch, but Benetton, Treviso, they've now come to play. They've decided they're going all in, and they're taking quick line outs. They're going to take another quick line out here.
Yeah, well, they've got to do something.
They've got to do something.
Yeah,
It's
they've got to try and change the
15
game
minutes
somehow.
to go, and they're chasing it. They need 2 converted tries, and even that won't do it. It'll even the point
Good
down.
take.
Taken by Hill.
Yeah, really
Almost
good.
collided with his half-back partner Evans. He just withdrew at the last minute. but he was isolated, and the Benetton team got there in time. Jaden Hayward is taking all the plaudits, coming up and doing a jackal from fullback.
So, Martin, an update on the pitch at the Arms Park. When do we think the Blues are going to be back playing there?
Well, we're hoping for early in the new year.
Okay.
The target, because I think it's the Scarlets game, which is the third of the
Is
Derby.
it having new 5G?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, no,
Please, can I have some offcuts?
you
I'm
can.
redoing my lawn.
You can.
Is there any
It rolls up very nicely.
If there's some offcuts.
But you could if it
Can I have some?
wasn't, but because it is owned by Mr. Paul Bailey.
Okay.
So Paul is the person you have to ask.
I will be very polite and ask him.
Drop a bottle of whiskey.
Mr.
I'm sure
Edwards
he'll-
has a few squares of it. Actually, practices golf on.
But I'd like that's
When it was first laid, he had he took away a couple of square yards.
It was so wet. It's so wet at the moment, and I've got an extension going on at the back, and it's just like it's like being in a trench in the Somme. And I just think we have to get artificial grass out there. Right.
But don't forget, this
Fred,
takes quite a lot of treatment.
This is a good surface one. So Benetton Treviso are wheeling toward the Blues line. This is worrying. They've got a big head of steam up here, and it's hard to see either a try or a penalty is going to come here because the Blues are going to have to do something illegal. And it is, unfortunately, the try. A driving maul that has ended up pushing the Blues back behind over their own line. I don't know which of the Treviso forces got it. It's a chap who's got some sort of back support on, I think.
It's a weight spell,
We'll have a look. Yeah, it looks like a weight spell, doesn't it? What number is he sporting?
That was a good drive, though.
He's run one of the replacements.
Set early, they got a lot of momentum. Kept the legs pumping, they kept shifting.
It's the reserve hooker, Toma Baravello.
But you get a sense, don't you, like after the first sort of 2 or 3 seconds of a driving line out, how well it's going to go.
Well, what I find interesting is where's that kind of urgency been from Benetton in the last 60
Well,
minutes?
they haven't had
Well, they've had a couple of opportunities.
not that. Yeah.
Not many.
The game has been a lot of the games been played in midfield.
First opportunity, well, since that very early on in the first half, for Keatley to line it up
Off the post.
it was that could be important come the final analysis. Actually, he's hit the other upright that Jared Evans hit. So Jared Evans hit the left hand or the right hand upright, if it depends which way you're looking at it. So
Yeah.
as they're looking at it, the left hand upright.
Now it's game management time. Now this is
15 points to 5.
This is sort of 7-8 minutes left of just dragging this game out a little bit. Not trying to overplay it.
But then this is what when we were talking about Jared Evans, what a wonderful player he is, and how he lifts the Blues, and how the Blues are a different team when he plays. The one thing that you were looking to see as a development in his game was this game management.
Yeah, and it will come, and this is where you get the experience. This is where you learn, I suppose,
So that's-
what's right,
that's-
what's wrong.
There we go.
That's the first mistake.
There we are.
Directly from the
Don't scuff
kick-off,
a drop kick.
he scuffed it right down. It's gone. It hasn't gone dead. It went over the try line, so they've tapped it. And under the new rules, now they can take it back, and it will be a scrum, I think, won't it?
Yep.
And it will be a scrum to Benetton. So that's given up 1 possession and 2, maybe 20 yards worth of real estate that they don't have to work hard to reclaim. It would appear that some Italians have been smuggled in to the Toronto parade, or they're just very, very excitable teammates. Number 23, who is Angelo Esposito. I can't spell that correctly. Wasn't that a song a couple of years ago? Big summer hit. Despacito. Yeah. Despacito. This is how we do it, man, in Puerto Rico.
Oh, another penalty at the scrum.
Right. This is so again. We hash up a kickoff. We then give a penalty away at the set piece. We're now going to be defending a line out from which a great big driving maul will come.
Yeah.
And there's still 13 minutes of this game to go. Not that I want to sound, pessimistic. They've missed touch though. So that's a fantastic opportunity.
There's
Right.
probably 6 minutes to go.
Okay, that kick is deliberately kept in field and beautifully gathered by Jaden Hayward, looking like a sort of Gaelic footballer coming up from fullback, diving forward to get it, and setting up an opportunity for big Haifa to carry it. Now, has that been knocked backwards? There was a ball to ground, and Keatley, not a great kick. I don't think he'll look back on that as his proudest moment, but it's come off the chest of Ben Thomas. Sorry, Hallam Amos. Was it? Yeah, I think it was Hallam Amos that bumped it forward.
Had he played advantage yet?
Yeah, he played advantage. The advantage went with a kick, which was quite lucky because the kick went dead.
And it is going to be drop out on the 22. So you can kick this one as far as you like now.
Have a go. Try and get it dead again.
See if you get it down. Now the chase is vitally important, and you can see some of the heavy legs of the Blues players that have been on right from the very beginning. But admirably, Josh Turnbull's up there, and so are enough other Blues defenders. They need to just close this game down for 5 minutes. Just keep Treviso where they are in the middle of the park, making Keatley kick long, deep kicks like that. Well, it's split Morgan and Amos. That's okay.
Yep.
Hallam Amos has found it, and he's found a touch just about the halfway line. And Treviso will get, it's actually bang on the halfway line, and Treviso will go again, and it will eat up a minute of the clock. So well played, Hallam Amos. Where's he in his medical career at the minute? Is he doing a Roberts? Is he doing it like
He's doing
over
not like you, Rick.
Oh, not the hard way, like
not like
cram it in 4 years.
Addicted to studying and exams.
I look back on it and just think
He's got a year to go, I think.
Midlife crisis. But yeah.
He's worried about the competition, mate, that's all.
There's very little competition in general practice. There's not many of us. That's part of the problem. There need to be more.
Apparently that is what
we need.
That's the major issue, isn't it?
We need more, because people like Hallam, general practice isn't particularly sexy. See, it's not like, we're talking about knee surgery. Young people that come into medicine, they want to be interventionists. They want to work in ITU. They want to stick tubes in people. And
don't look at piles all day.
I just don't want to listen to essential stuff. I actually quite like chronic disease and managing chronic disease. And it's a bit of a game of chess, but a lot of the work of general practice can be a little less.
That's a very good skill.
Entertaining. They've done that on a couple of occasions today, and it's been part of the success of the Blues.
Yes, we've missed a few lineups, but it's been a good part of our play.
Compton Roy Thornton's had a good game today. He's been good in the lineup.
Well, he's
got a good carries.
He's a good caller in the lineup as well.
And he scored a try. He's just gone on a lovely little run there. We just need the Blues just play a bit of keep ball now, isn't it? We could do with them doing like a 20 phase right across the field, left and right. Instead, Ben Thomas.
That's a decent kick.
That's a really good kick.
That's fine.
Decent kick.
And he didn't plan to do that. They're the hardest kicks, the kicks where you plan to run, but you have to change instinctively. And, they're looking to try and play wide there. Nothing on.
So he kicked it from about his 10-metre line, and it's brought a line out just outside the Treviso 22.
I like that, because if you look at that in the replay, they're actually trying to throw the ball wide. They're trying to get it into a wide position, but he adjusts well, makes his decision and kicks it.
Treviso, it looks to me as though they're shortening the line. It gets a bit, the lights aren't that bright down in that area over there. Nor are my eyes that sharp these days. The line looks as though it's shortened to about 4 or 5. It's been one in the middle. It's off the top very, very quickly and distributed to Keatley. Keatley quickly pumps it up into the very, very wet Newport night sky. Fantastically taken.
Owen Lane, that is.
By Owen Lane, the try scorer. Slammed to ground. What went wrong there? Someone's off their feet.
Do you boys pick a man of the match?
Yeah.
And who are you tending towards at the moment?
Oh, well, at the minute, I would be looking not much further than Turnbull always catches my eye. Thornton's played well. It's got to be a forward.
Yeah.
What about Laney? He's defended well.
He scored a good try, but I think it has to go to a forward today. I think it's been a forward effort up front.
Premier will do it, won't they?
We'll
see. I mean, at the minute, Thornton scored a try. He's nicked a couple of lineouts.
I think it could be Thornton.
And he's worked really hard. So he would be hedging it from it, and you never get anything other than a
I think maybe they picked Owen Lane.
he never dips below 7 or 8 out of 10 does Josh Turnbull.
No, he's a good leader as well.
Yeah, and he's the type of player you want.
Part of the squad. Shocking here.
Well, yeah. What was it? That's just part of the fun games, isn't it?
Fun games.
Thought you had done it for a minute.
I think you've got.
Oh, we've got any peroxide of there.
I think that's the light. There's a touch of envy there.
Yeah, all right, leave it.
No, it's a lifestyle.
Blues moving it through the hands of their outside backs. Matthew Morgan ships it off to Hannah Amos, who realises very quickly there wasn't much real estate left out there, and he's cut back in field, gets himself isolated, holds onto the ball a little bit too long, and it's a penalty to Treviso. But you don't mind. Well, it is frustrating when you give penalties away in the opposition 22, but when there's only 10 minutes. Is it less than 10 minutes?
No,
5 minutes.
No, there'd be less than that. There's a bit of a delay on there. There'd probably be 2 minutes left.
77-37 live.
Wow. So we are. The clock is counting down.
We're looking at an important victory
and a home victory. But your hubristic prediction of Treviso going to pieces and the Blues getting a bonus, but also, which was said live on air.
There's 3 minutes left.
At least 62 witnesses. How many people have you?
If you look at this game as well, like if you look at the stats so far, Benetton have had
majority
of the territory.
Big man running straight.
They've had the majority of possession.
They have. The Blues are going to finish with a flourish.
What could do?
Oh,
Jared Evans.
Blindsided.
Heavy tackle.
There was. I mean, sometimes. I think sometimes Jared Evans just delayed his pass a little bit there after throwing a little bit of a. Josh Turnbull was man of the match, was he? Well, there you go. I mean, he was in my frame. I did mention him or Thornton. I think sometimes that was picked by. That would have been picked by Shane Williams and who's up there? Who else up there? The Holster. I mean, what do they know about forward play? You know, that to me is they have to give it to a forward. Let's give it to the blonde one that we could see. I think Thornton's been hardly treated.
There's two types of rugby players, like athletes and forwards. Yeah.
Piano players, piano shifters. The Blues are looking to have the final say of this game. They are right on the line in the extreme corner, the opposite corner to the changing room, that end of the field. And the Blues are just nipping as Treviso desperately defend their line. Now they're going to go wide. Oh, it's a walk-in for Ben Thomas under the post. That puts the cherry on the cake. I think the clock will go red, won't it, before the kick is put over. If not, Jared Evans really ought to take as long as he can to.
That's
bonus points, right?
They want to go for the bonus point. Okay, fine. So Jared Evans
we're not going to lose.
He's taken no time whatsoever. Drop kicked it. 22 points to 5. How many minutes are they going to have left? It's
79:52. There'll be the restart, then he'll play it. So there's nothing to lose, is there? We're not going to lose the game.
They've not let him get away with the. He took the drop goal.
Yeah, just short of numbers.
Is the referee not letting him have that?
It's okay.
I'm not sure.
I don't understand why.
I don't either. Are you not allowed to do a drop kick anymore?
I believe you are. I don't know. I've not known that rule.
Well, why is it? Because that's the end of the game now. There's no time left.
No, he's doing the old Nige. How long is there left? When was it kicked? Blah, blah, blah,
I'll tell you what.
So they're going to kick off.
It's good decision making there, right? Because there's a tendency sometimes just to keep picking and going close in. But it was a good call out from Jared. Benetton got really tight around that rut because they were wary of the Blues picking and going. An overriding call, which you often get from your 10. And a nice turn of pace, actually, by Ben Thomas, just to get on the outside.
He did. He
we might as well just have a go now, because we're not going to lose.
So there's no expecting the onside kick. Tried to make it difficult. Jared Evans has scooped it up, and he's going on a lateral run. Matthew Morgan comes up from fullback, takes it up to about 10 metres outside the Blues 22, within the 15 and 10 metre channel. The Blues playing Harlequin rugby, not Harlequin rugby, Barbarian rugby.
We're not playing Harlequin rugby.
Where the hell did that come from? Oh. Jared Evans again. He's got a taste for it now as Ben Thomas goes inside, looks outside, gets swallowed up by a couple of green shirts. but the Blues still have the ball right on the halfway line. Tremendous enterprise, looking for the bonus point try.
John?
That Martin Ryan so presciently predicted when coming into the box.
Yeah, how we laughed when he said it.
When he joined the commentary team temporarily. Lovely to see you, Martin.
Lovely to see you, boys. That's a good performance.
Yeah, I totally agree. I totally
32
agree.
points to 5. It's a home win. It's what we like. What did you like particularly about it, Tom?
I liked the way the Blues took advantage of being in the Benetton's 22 in the first half. They had to play a little more in the first half. I thought their kicking was a lot better. Discipline was good. They forced Benetton to give away a lot of penalties, and again a really good defensive play.
The defence, I think if you're going to take the overall thing that would be
they look
most
comfortable
different all season has
defensively.
been the defence
Defense has been good.
has been very, very good. And then some lovely little opportunities. You don't get many.
No.
But when they did create them, they were well taken. Owen Lane's try will be the pick of the.
Yeah,
the
I
pick
think
of
so.
the
You know,
particular evening.
The individual.
Let's get Darren. Where's Darren? He's still here. Darren Talbot,
Yeah.
director of Aspen, Waite, Wales, proud sponsor of the
There you
live
go.
stream coverage of the Blues on the Facebook, on the Twitter, and on YouTube. Got to be happy with that.
Happy with that, yeah. After bounce back after a couple of bad defeats, and yeah, a good omen. You watched the first live game.
Did
win.
you? Who would you have gone for man of the match?
Because really, you should have been the one choosing it.
Well, you can choose it because you're our sponsor, so you
Yeah, I
can
would've
choose
gone
your
for-
man of the match.
I think Jared controlled the game.
You think so?
yeah, they did control it.
Shut up, Shanklin. We said it's got to be a forward.
He's my accountant, mate.
Ah,
He's my accountant.
just because he's
I've got
a
to say
sponsor.
yes.
Ah.
I'll get
Right,
billed for
you're
it tomorrow.
Obviously wrong, Dan. It had to be a forward. On a game like today, forwards have to be man of the match.
I would have Owen Lane would have been my man of the match. Because I think
Two backs,
that
now,
piece of magic, and he defended well all game.
It's good to have him back, mind.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
makes a difference, doesn't it?
Yeah.
and that's that score really took it away from.
Yeah, it was. That's true. That it
And
did.
began the collapse, the inevitable collapse.
So when are we back? Reece, what's the next game?
Glasgow.
2 weeks
2 weeks.
Glasgow 2 weeks today. Here, don't miss it. You will be very sorry if you do. The sparkling banter and fun and just unpredictability
Oh,
of what's going to
we've had a hoot, haven't we?
be.
We've had a hoot.
Well, I've enjoyed it.
Yeah, no, it's been good. I mean,
I had a giggle.
yeah, there's one thing I'd like to say is next time maybe put some trousers on. Apart from that.
Yeah. Right then. Now, on that note, and thanks to Darren and Aspen Wales, thanks to Mr. Ryan,
Pleasure.
and thanks to everybody behind the scenes, to Helen and everybody who's looked after us here, particularly Uber Eats and Costa Coffee and 7-Up, light sparkling refreshments. We'll be back in a couple of weeks. This is Rick